What's going on, guys? My name is Colton Crane. I'm 24 years old. I'm making this video today because you guys asked that you want to know more about me and who I am and what I guess I can bring to the company. To start off, I just got out of the military. I was stationed over in Japan for 2 years, and that is where I kind of started like learning about the gym and going and training and kind of getting into bodybuilding. I spent the first year just really focusing on lifting, heavy shit, and didn't really care about form or anything because it was all pretty new to me. And all I care about is like progressing in weight. And then it got to like whenever you do something like that, you hit a plateau pretty fast. So then you gotta, step back, reevaluate what you're doing, and then figure out like how you can make yourself better. And I think that's whenever I started like doing all this research and figuring out like what bodybuilding is, what promotes muscle growth, what promotes, how to get leaner, how to bulk up, how to, cut down, how to make yourself look good while you're weightlifting and not solely care about moving weight. Before I was in the military, I was very obese. I kind of went through this period. I was a fat kid whenever I was young. I I kind of looked like Bobby Hill. And then, whenever I went to high school, I kind of had like that growth spurt or whatever, so I was like a skinny fat. Still a little bit of pudginess, but nothing really drastic. But I didn't have any muscle either. And for football, we had athletic weights, which I didn't take very seriously because it was a class, and I just didn't care about it. I just cared about playing football. I didn't want to lift weights. I didn't want to do any of this stuff because, all I did was just make me sore for the rest of the day, and then I couldn't take practice as serious because I was sore from that. So I had been in a weight room before. I actually started like weightlifting, I guess you could say, but I didn't learn shit and I didn't gain anything from that. And then after my senior year of high school, after football season ended, and then I stopped, going to practice every day. I stopped playing sports and I stopped weightlifting. I gained a mass amount of weight back, and it was probably like one of the most unhealthiest points of my life. I weighed, I think, around like 260, 265, but none of that was muscle whatsoever. And then I did a year of college and still the same thing, didn't really do anything to promote my health there. And then said fuck college, I wanted to join the military. And originally I was trying to join the Air Force. So I tried to get in that whole process, and then they told me the same thing, that I have to lose, so many pounds before they can even look at me. And I was like, all right, cool. So now I have a goal, and I still didn't know anything about like health and wellness. So I started off just running because you don't see very many fat people that run. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just run a lot, and, cut down what I eat and just basically do that. I didn't realize at the time that, I lost the weight, but I did it in a very unhealthy manner. I lost like almost 70 pounds within like 3 or 4 months, but I was basically I was starving myself. I would wake up, go run, go have one of those little Slim Fast shakes from Walmart, and then go run again, and then that was basically it. I would eat that Slim Fast shake after, like, for my first meal, and then for my second meal I'd have something like really small, and I just drank a bunch of water. So I was in like a huge caloric deficit, and I was able to get the weight off, but I felt miserable the entire time, and I didn't realize why. But it was kind of like caught in between, because I was like happy that I was losing weight, so that kind of like counteracted how I actually felt and like how my body felt. And so I didn't really like pay attention to my body in that aspect. I was so focused on this goal that I didn't care about my health whatsoever. But I lost the weight, and then tried getting into the Air Force. Air Force wouldn't accept me because of other reasons, and I was like, fuck it, try Marines. And Marines were a little bit more physically active. You had to do a certain amount of pull-ups, push-ups and all that stuff to kind of get yourself going. I couldn't do any of that shit. So then I was like, all right, well, I got to go to the gym to build up my muscle to be able to join the Marines, because I don't want to go into their basic, and then just not be able to make it because I didn't prepare myself adequately. And so I started working out with my friend Tyler Don Moyer. He really helped me out a lot with like teaching me things, and he still does. But he's like the one that really kick-started me getting into the gym. And I was this was at like the very end of my first year of college. I was going to school, and after school I would go to the gym, and I would run and I would weightlift for a little bit, and then after that I would go and work at UPS for their night shift, and I did that basically like the whole second semester of college, which is another reason why I just said fuck it and I got out, because I was doing too many things at once. And so like halfway through me training to become a Marine, the recruiter called me and said, hey, if the Air Force didn't take you, we won't be able to take you either. Pretty much my only other option was join the Army, and the Army took me. So I got that started, and then after I got in, you go through basic, and you really can't do anything in basic other than what they allow you to do. And then you go through your technical school, or AIT, and there you have the opportunity to do things like on the weekends, or like for instance our barracks had a gym in it, and I went like once or twice, because at that point in time I was like, okay, we do PT, that's good enough for me. I still wasn't really like focused and all in the gym. And then I got stationed in Japan, and that's where everything like really like came together for me. I remember getting off the plane, nobody was there to pick me up, and I waited there till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then these two guys that weren't even there to pick me up were going back to Kadena Air Force Base, and they said that they could drop me off at staff duty there, and then I'll kind of like figure out what's going on. And then it just so happened like my sponsor showed up around that time anyways, so it was good to go. Dropped me off at the hotel, and then the next day my NCO picked me up, and then I just kind of got like thrown into the fire of the Army, I guess. But that NCO, his name's Sergeant Byers, he's the one that kind of like sparked the idea, because I can remember like riding in his car on the way to PT that next day, being tired as fuck, and he's like, because at that point in time there was no like off posts, like there was a whole bunch of limits. You couldn't really go off post to do anything you wanted to. So he was like, you can pretty much do two things here while you're here. And he goes, most people either drink all the time or they work out all the time. And I was like, all right, cool. So I just started going to the gym, and I can remember like I went to the gym like every day for like 3 or 4 months, and then like it was just I couldn't stop. I got addicted, and I felt good about myself, felt good about my body. I was starting to see a little bit of progress because, you know, like I said, I still wasn't making, like, I guess gains is what you could say, like no muscle definition or anything. I was kind of bulking up and my diet was still shit. And so I was just like, I was putting on mass, but it wasn't necessarily always good mass. And I'm sure like most of you know, whenever you first like really start working out, that's like whenever you like just skyrocket for like all your like improvements, and then you hit a plateau pretty fast, and then that's when most people quit, is because like, you know, I was jumping up in all this weight and stuff, and then now all of a sudden I'm not, and it's getting harder and I'm having to do things differently, and then people don't want to do that. So that's why, you know, most people stop. And then no, I'm not leaving. Sorry, I'm in a parking lot and people want me to move. Anyways, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so then this kid named Renfro, he was going to the gym at like the same time as me, or like right after me, and he's like, you know, man, I see you going to the gym every day, and not many people do that. Do you want to train together? And I was like, yeah, sure, you know. And I've never, like, besides like me being the mentor, I mean the student with Tyler, I never actually like was put in position to where like I could teach people and help people. And Renfro was like the first person I could do that to, and he was already like pretty well built. You know, he had muscle tone, muscle definition, but he just didn't know a lot. You know, he was just like naturally gifted with like that sort of things, and he did other stuff like boxing and shit like that. But when it came to the weight room, he pretty much let me, you know, decide like what we would do and how we would do things. And like that was my first experience of like helping somebody else. And after I started training with him, that's when I knew for a fact like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people improve their lives, and just make themselves better. And then I just got like, I got so consumed by like the whole bodybuilding community. I was watching you know, YouTube videos, reading Flex magazine, and doing all this stuff, and it took over my entire life. And I kind of fell into that, I don't really want to say it's like a plague or a bad thing, because it is good to like have like those role models. Like, you know, at the time I think it was Phil Heath had just like came onto the main stage, and people were starting to take him seriously because he just beat Jay Cutler, and I think he was going for like his second or third win. But you just see like this big massive guy, and you're like, you know, I want to be like that, and I want to be that big, I want to be huge. And I would, every time a new magazine came out, I'd go buy it. Anytime YouTube videos come out, I'd be watching it. Like I just did that 24/7. And it was weird because I'd never been like that guy before. I'd never been known as like, that's the guy that goes to the gym all the time, you know, that's the guy that, like, that's the meathead. And it was kind of cool, but it was also just kind of weird for me because that's never really been me. If you ask any of my friends from high school, or no, I didn't really have friends from college, but high school or college, you know, they, like, I'm a completely different person than what I was then. You know, I was like the funny fat kid. You know, I did not care about my health. And I can remember going to like Little Caesars like 3 days a week after high school, and I would eat an entire pizza by myself. Like, I was so unhealthy. It's amazing that I haven't already had like cardiac arrest or something like that, or it's just miraculous. But anyways, so now I was this guy that, you know, certain people, especially like in our battery, they would come ask me for advice. You know, what do you think about this, what do you think about that? And then that was a good feeling, but I didn't ever want to like let anybody down. So I always was like, I had my nose just on anything fitness related. You know, I was on Instagram, I was on YouTube, I was reading those magazines, I was reading books, I was reading articles, and I was just trying to have this information and this knowledge ready. That way, if anybody asks me any questions, I can give them the answer and I can give them the right answer. And that was another thing that like really, really helped me, because I had more and more people come up to me, and you know, after like me and Renfro stopped working out together, because he finally got to a point to where he's like, all right, you know, he had all this knowledge that I had, and he wanted to help other people that was in like his battery, so he started like training with them and, you know, teaching them, and which was really cool to me, because that's what I want for everyone. You know, anybody has the potential to like inspire somebody else. You know, there's always going to be someone that looks up to you, and I think that it's your responsibility to like not let that person down, or, you know, give them something to look up to. You know, you could be looking up to somebody else, somebody's looking up to you, but and you're like trying to achieve like this crazy goal, but somebody might just be trying to achieve like what you already have, and it's your job to, you know, help them. I mean, that should be like everybody's mentality, like, you know. And I've been that way too, where, you know, I'm like, my wife's always, you know, telling me that I need to like tone myself back, because I still like get consumed by like these bodybuilders like Bradley Martin or Kai Green, and these guys that have already kind of made it, and yeah, they're still progressing in their own little realm, but like that's where I'm like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that to make it to their level. But sorry, but my wife's like, you know, you can do that and you can be that, but you have to do it your own way. You know, you need to stop like trying to live in their shoes, because if you do that, then you're probably gonna fall short. And she's right. I've been like in and out of like different training programs and this and that. I'm like, all right, well, you know, this program just released, I have to do everything that it says, because that's how they got that big. And I was naive before, and sometimes I still do it, but I try to catch myself now, because I know that it just doesn't work like that. Too many people realize that in the fitness industry, there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, pretty much you can do within limitations anything that you fucking want to do, as long as you have correct form and you have a good diet. You are going to see progression, and that's why like I kind of like backtrack now whenever I'm following these people, because there are certain bodybuilders that I still do follow because I believe in their message, not because I want to do everything that they do, but I believe that, you know, they truly want to help people, and that's the type of people that I want to stand behind. That's the type of person that I want to be. But it's so easy to look at all these things and get consumed and overwhelmed, and, you know, you see this is Phil Heath's arm workout, and, you know, all right, well, he's got huge fucking biceps, well, I got to do this if I want huge fucking biceps. And that's just not the case. And because if it was the case, then there would be no more fitness magazines, there'd be no more articles, no more YouTube videos. You know, there'd just be one, and everybody would do that same fucking program, and everybody would be big as fuck, and the world would be super aesthetic. And that's just, you know, everybody's body is different, and that's the hardest part, is accepting that, I think, is because, you know, everyone wants a program, everybody wants something that's given to them, because if you take the time to do something on your own, and or you try different things and then you fail, you know, you can be discouraged. I remember one of the first, I guess, programs you could say I ever created was it was like this 500 rep program that I always started out. Anytime I trained somebody new when I was in Japan, I always made them do this. And the sole purpose was Phorm. You lift really lightweight, and you would do, like, if you were doing chest, anything on a machine, you would do 2 sets of 50. Anything that with free weights, you would do 4 sets of 25. That way you're not risking really having bad muscle movement and tearing something. And people look at me like I'm crazy, like, 500 reps is insane, you're going to tear something, you're going to do this, that, whatever. I did that program for like 3 months with Renfro, and by the end of the whole program, we were up to 1,000 reps, and we both felt really good. Like, it's just something that worked for me, and I'm not saying this that it'll work for everyone, but doing that really helped me concentrate on form. And now if I go and I pick up 120-pound dumbbells to go bench them, I'm not worried about if my arms are aligned correctly or if I'm going down far enough, because I can already feel that. I know what good form feels like, and so all I can focus on is pushing the weight. But that's what you got to do. You have to make your own thing, and you have to stress. I mean, I'm kind of getting off topic, but my brother Wes, he used to take me out in the woods a lot, and we'd go and like look for deer or stuff or whatever. And one of the things that he always stressed to me is you have to make your own path. And he's right. And that's like not just through like hunting or whatever, but like through any aspect of life. Like, if you try to fill somebody else's shoes, you're gonna fail. And even if you don't, even if you do succeed, then you're accomplishing what somebody else has already accomplished. It's way more crucial and beneficial to like make your own path, to set your own goals, and just kind of fuck what everybody else is doing. Do what you enjoy doing, and just inspired to get better each day in that aspect. And really, that's what I'm all about. I'm not huge, I'm not ripped or cut or even close to being a fitness model in any aspect. I'm gonna be, but at this point in my life, I'm not, and that's what I'm striving towards. I am gonna be on that Olympic stage one day, doing a pose down with whoever. But right here, right now, I'm pretty average, and I think that's what most people don't get. And I know you said in your company that you want real people. Well, too many people focus on the finished product, and I am nowhere near the finished product. I am still working towards that goal, and I'm not even like trying to achieve like that main goal right now. I have a bunch of smaller goals that I'm trying to hit. That way I can keep progressing and keep moving forward and not being discouraged. That's really like my biggest issue right now with the fitness industry. And I fell like way heavy into it, as well as you watch these videos and you read these magazines, you see these pictures online, and everybody's just fucking flexing down, and the lighting's perfect and their biceps are bulging or whatever, and everyone sees the finished product. Everyone sees these guys that have pretty much made it, and it's kind of misleading, because all those guys started somewhere, and whether they had abs whenever they were younger, or they're already pretty big, or they got started at a young age, and they all didn't always look like what they look like now. But that's all we ever see. We always just see this big dude that's talking to you, and has the right lighting. Sometimes just fucking huge, and it's real, but it's not real. Like, you didn't see the struggles that they went through. You didn't see them forcing down chicken and rice. You didn't see them not sleeping or waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, not because they're going to the gym, because they have to go to fucking work. Like, that's what normal people do. They've already made it. They've already established themselves in the fitness industry. So now fitness is their job, which is great. That's what I want to be. But right now, I'm a college student. I have a job that I have to go to. I have other obligations other than going to the gym. And that's how it is for 99% of the community that's in this industry, or even just in general. Like, if you are a real like business savvy person and like you want to be like Bill Gates, then all you ever see is what Bill Gates is now. You know, you don't ever think about like the dude that was in like a 1-bedroom apartment playing with computer chips, you know. And I think that's what the fitness industry needs more of, is you need people like me that do the 9 to 5 and then work out in between, you know. I don't remember the last time that I went to bed before 10 o'clock at night, and it's not because I'm just so dedicated, or you know, I just got done with the gym or whatever. It's because I go to fucking class all day, you know, and then after class I go to the gym and I try my best to have a good workout. And that's another thing, is every time you watch one of those videos, it's always like some awe-inspiring, inspirational fucking video that, you know, just gets you pumped up, gets you motivated, but that shit's not real either. I mean, how many times have you gone to the gym and you're just like, you know, I just don't feel it, you know, and you have to push through that workout just to, you know, fucking make it. And, you know, you have to find like shreds of motivation, like just like, you got to remember like where you started, what you're doing, why you're even there, just to get through a workout. And it's supposed to be something that you enjoy doing, and that's what's real. You know, not everything is just fucking golden, and you know, not everything is given to you, handed out. You know, it's hard, life is hard, and life's shitty. And whenever you look at all these guys that it just seems like, you know, everything fell into place for them and they're doing the right things all the time, that's not the case. You know, they went through it. It's just not for you to see, because not everyone wants to see that. Not everyone wants to see, you know, the average guy going to the gym and he does like 3 workouts and he just fucking leaves because he's not feeling it, you know. And that's what's real. And that's what I think people need to see more of, because to me that's inspirational. I don't want to see the big ripped dude, you know, pumping iron all the time, because I mean, yeah, that's cool. I want to see the fat guy on a treadmill that's just fucking dying to hit a mile. And because that's work, that's what real work looks like, you know. He is working towards a goal to better himself, and that's why those fitness people do what they do. Most of them have good intentions and a good heart, and they are there to inspire people to live a healthier lifestyle. But that's why so many people fall short. You know, if you work out for 3 or 4 years and you still don't have abs, that can be very discouraging. Or, you know, you still haven't hit 500 on deadlifts, or, you know, any goal that you set and you failed, that's discouraging. I failed hundreds of times. I mean, you know, I'll fail almost once a week with a lift or something I want to do. You know, I've been trying to hit 500-pound deadlifts for almost 3 or 4 months now, where I've actually like taken it seriously and trying to work towards it, and I failed every single time. And at first it's discouraging, and then it gets to the point to where it's motivating, because it's been a long time since I haven't been able to hit something that I hadn't tried to hit. You know, there's so many things that like I said, whenever I first started weightlifting, I was already kind of a big guy, so I could push some weight, and I can still push some weight now. I just don't look like I can, because kind of got like the dad bod going on. But that's not like motivating to other people. You know, I can't walk into a gym and start lifting and people come, you know, now, because nobody knows me here, and people ask me for advice, because people only want advice for people that look good, or that, you know, already have the definition and stuff like that, which is great. You know, I understand that, because you are your own resume in the fitness industry. You know, your body shows the amount of work and effort that you put into, but not all those guys, they just don't understand. I see a lot of people especially on, you know, the University of Tennessee. They go in there and, you know, they show off what they got, but they aren't there to help people. And it's almost like they're there to discourage people, which really fucking pisses me off, because if you ever have like discouraged like even a single person from bettering themselves, then you're just like a worthless piece of shit. Like if you go in there and you see a fat guy, I don't know why I keep saying fat guy. If you see somebody like struggling or something, and then your first mentality is to go pick up that weight and show them that you can do it whenever they're struggling with it, you know, or you just want to like show off to make them feel worse about themselves, then you're just a piece of shit. Like, everybody is there for a reason. Everybody is trying to better themselves. And if you're in there and you think you've already made it, then why are you there? I mean, there is absolutely no way to have like a perfect body, or, you know, perfect anything. You can strive for perfection all you want, but you're never going to obtain it. You can fall short and still end up pretty well, but that shit's just not going to happen. And the point I'm trying to make is the fitness industry needs more real people. And I'm not going to name drop right now certain people that I follow that I know are real, or I assume are real, because, you know, I see what they put on their videos and stuff. But there needs to be more of that instead of just fakeness. There's a lot of fakeness in the fitness, and there's a lot of fakeness in the world, but that's the shit that pisses me off. Like, I just want to help people that want to be helped, or even if they don't want to be helped. Like, I want to help people, like, spark that inspiration. And, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be a part of your company or not. You know, either way, as long as like somebody sees this video and somebody is inspired, like just one person to go and do something differently or go and help themselves, then I'll feel better about myself, because I'm working on myself and I know I'm gonna make it. But I want everybody to have that same mentality, because, I mean, why not? Why not, you know, get better, get healthier, and strive for greatness? Because even if you fall short, you're going to be better than what you were yesterday. And I think that's what the fitness industry should be about. It shouldn't be about, you know, mass producing supplements and giving people shitty products just to make a profit, or, you know, selling your clothing items and stuff, and, you know, not really caring about the fans, because there is going to be a certain point in time to where if you get on a high enough level, you are going to have fans and you are going to have people that follow you and look up to you for inspiration. And if you're there just to make a dime, then you're also a piece of shit, because people are gullible. People will fall into this trap of following or doing whatever you do, and if you take advantage of that, that's terrible. So that is what I'm all about. If that's something you guys are looking for, then I would be a great fit. I'm sorry I took a 30-minute video, but this is something I am very passionate about, and I feel like more people just need to have that same passion or have that same drive, because, you know, you can inspire to be something great, but you should also, while you're inspiring, sorry, I said that wrong. You can aspire to be something great. You can aspire to be, you know, this fucking super aesthetic Arnold fucking dude, but in that same time, you should be inspiring other people with whatever you're doing. You know, I have a lot of people that look up to me or that take my advice seriously, and I don't ever take that for granted. Like, if I don't know something, I'll look it up and I'll make sure I'm giving them correct information, or I'll just tell them I don't know, because I care. You know, you don't want to give some people some bullshit advice, or lead them in the wrong direction, because if something goes wrong, I just don't want to ever be the reason why somebody stops working out. I always want to be the person that helps people and motivates people and gets them to the gym. That's why you won't ever really see me, like, I will make videos every once in a while of me like lifting something, especially if I'm doing like a PR or max. I want to make sure that well, for one, I want to make sure that I get on camera, because to me that's very, like, that makes me feel good whenever I do that. Makes anybody feel good. But two, you know, I want to make sure I have correct form and stuff, but I don't ever make it like, try to make it like super obvious. If I'm getting filmed, then my wife will do it and try to be like around as little people as possible, or hopefully no people, because I don't want to take away from anybody else's workout. And because to me, that's another thing I have an issue with, but I'll save that for another day. But that's what I'm all about. I hope to hear back from you guys, even if it's just, you know, tell me you like the video or you hated the video, thank you, or what your thoughts on. See you later.